It's time to list up with 6 essential master lists to add to your planning routine. Hey y'all, welcome back to Dots and Beyond. If you are new here, my name is Beth and I am a reformed non-list maker. Pre-printed planners and calendars failed me for years, so I kept everything in my head. It was efficient for me at the time, but the downside to this type of cerebral organization is that my brain never shuts up. Add living with bipolar disorder, a mental illness that adds its own clamorous cacophony, and eventually the discord became deafening. Now I am a keeper of lists. By themselves, they keep a lot of unnecessary information out of my head. Combined with my bullet journal, and they help keep me both efficient and sane. My lists currently live in Notion because this enables me to change, delete, or add items with ease. But I originally kept them in a journal, even before finding the bullet journal method. So experiment with print and digital options to find out what works best for you. And stay tuned to pick up your own list-making printable later in the video. Here are 6 of my favorites. The master list. I know, I referred to this collective as all master lists, and they are. For you fellow Lord of the Rings fans, though, think of this list as the One Ring, the one to rule them all. The other 5 lists are rings of power. Alone they are powerful, but they are linked to the master list and dependent upon it. It is the list of all lists, only less evil. Bottom line, the master list is a list of everything I need to get done. Ever. For it to be effective, I have 2 requirements. 1, it must be easily accessible, and 2, it must be editable. For these reasons, as I stated, I keep my master list in Notion. This video isn't sponsored, but Notion makes keeping lists ridiculously convenient. But I am adding a reduced current version to the back of my bullet journal for reference. Various planning systems tout the importance of a master list, but usually it is in the context of a weekly to-do list. My master list is bigger, much bigger. It has grown to cover a broad overview of my entire life, and I use it to populate subsequent lists. Getting all of this information out of my head makes room for information pertinent to the here and now. Wrapping up this master list and moving on to the weekly reset list. The items on your weekly reset list should inspire you to start the following work week with a clean slate. There are 4 categories on my weekly reset list, and 2 of them I took directly from Michelle B. Get Clear and Get Current. I will link to Michelle B's weekly reset video below, but those 2 categories are nested between 2 others of my own, and those are Get Creative and Get Confident. Get Creative directly relates to content for planning as well as Dots and Beyond. I make sure both personal and work bullet journals are set up for the following week. I write a short weekly review in my work journal. I identify and schedule days where I can film, edit, and record voiceovers because, again, I work a flex schedule in both days and hours. I also try to confirm my content calendar for the week. Get Clear means exactly that. Clearing everything. I separate this into digital, physical, and mental. Digital clear means trying to reach inbox 0 in all email accounts, reviewing, sorting, or deleting files in various storage locations on my digital devices, and running the Clean My Mac program. Physical clear means cleaning my space. I straighten my desk, clean any clutter around my home, and take anything unnecessary out of my backpack purse. Mental clear is writing my to-do list and getting everything out of my head. This is why my first step is to get creative, because I need my journals ready to go before this step. I also try to fit in a 20-minute meditation into my weekly reset, usually at the end, but this is where it lives on my list. Getting current involves taking those to-do lists and populating them into my journals. I also update any trackers or collections that haven't been filled in during the week, as well as my reading journal and my new wellness journals. And then getting confident is my final touches step for the week. I pick out my wardrobe for the week so I don't have to think about it every day. I water my plants so they don't die because my plants are an integral part of my mental health. I meal plan and prep and try to schedule workouts. Again, my flex schedule sometimes makes this difficult. But during the weekly reset process, I compose the next list on my, list. And that is the weekly to-do list. Actually, I compose two, since I keep my career and personal planning separate, but I'm odd. For this video, I'm going to simulate a weekly to-do so I can focus more on the sorting process. To populate this list, I first pull up my master list and transfer any relevant items for the week to that to-do list. Then I recognize any other items that might be stored in my noggin and purge them onto the page. In planner terminology, this is known as a brain dump, a phrase of which I have a particular loathing, so I don't use it. For this process, I start with a scrap paper or a Google Word document. Some of the new things coming out of my mind get added to the master list, but most are only immediately relevant. Once the draft version of this list is done, I then add them to my journal and categorize each task into one of 5 areas of urgency: must, might, migrate, modify, or omit. I recently tweaked my key to accommodate these signifiers. I already had an important signifier, the asterisk, so I'm using it for must. For might, I added the infinity symbol. Then forward arrow is already my standard migration symbol. For modify, I use the tilde, that's the little squiggly line next to the number 1 on your keyboard. And for omit, I will simply strike through an item as though it has been canceled. Next up is the monthly life admin list, and I only began planning weekly and monthly reset time into my schedule in the last 6 months, and I cannot recommend this practice enough. Absolutely 5 stars. That is, when I take the time to do it. Scheduling this on a weekly basis can be challenging. Again, since I work a flex schedule centered around events, and a lot of events fall on the weekends, I can't simply pick the same day and time every week, for example, Sunday afternoon from 3 to 4 p.m. This is the very thing that prohibited me from trying it in the past, but it's worth figuring out even if you work odd hours as I do. The monthly life admin list is a little easier to schedule because I strive to make it an entire life admin day. Let me be real, this is the adulting list. Items on this list include budget. I've let hardcore budgeting get away from me, and I certainly do not have the income or the kind of lifestyle where I can shrug off budgeting. Paperwork. Oh man, I hate paperwork. This includes digitizing receipts and important papers in order to reduce paper clutter. Scheduling. I look back and look forward. This includes reviewing bullet journal functionality before setting up a new month. I update my calendars, and I make the appointments that I need to make. I've also, for the first time this month, added scheduling fun to my monthly list. It's been missing. Relationships. Do I need to do any birthday or holiday shopping? Call my mom. Phone a friend. Schedule a girls' night. Errands. What have I been putting off? Is it time to get a box of donation items out of the house? Is there something I need to list on Facebook Marketplace and be around for a buyer? These are all the types of things which land on the life admin list, but no cleaning because it has its own dedicated master list. Cleaning lists are common in the bullet journal community. I used to just keep all cleaning tasks in my head, or I would just do them when I thought they needed doing. In truth, I don't live in filth, but there is a reason cleaning is defined as a chore. I hate it. And yet I need a clean space for my mind to feel clear. Still, it is my very fastidious feline Faramir who finally forced me to set up a daily, weekly, and monthly cleaning list. Faramir will refuse to use the litter box if I do not completely change out the litter on a very regular basis, and I learned this the hard way. I divide my cleaning list into daily, weekly, monthly, biannual, and annual, and then subdivide by room on the first 3 lists, which tend to be a little longer. Daily cleaning has a lot to do with clean surfaces and less clutter. There's also the little part about having to eat every day and the mess that garners in a kitchen. And of course, as a cat owner, I have to do all of those cat owner related things like feed them and scoop the poop. On the weekly are cleaning tasks like toilets, vacuuming, cleaning the fridge, laundry, etc. Some of these items are done in one fell swoop during my weekly reset process. The others I try to schedule throughout the week. As I mentioned before, I pretty much loathe cleaning, so I try to spread it out as much as possible. You may be the type of person who dedicates an entire day or portion of a day each week to cleaning. Sometimes my schedule forces me to do this, but it isn't my first choice. Find what works best for you to make the chores, well, less of a chore. The monthly cleaning list is all about going deep, and for this I usually schedule one day to just get it done, because ew. The one exception on this list is again due to Faramir. I throw out the current cat litter and deep clean the litter boxes, yes plural, approximately every 3 weeks instead of once a month, but this is the most relevant list for that task to live, and I have to keep the Lord of the Manor happy. Biannual cleaning is a little trickier, and I'm still getting the hang of it, but instead of doing all of these things in January and then again in July, I try to spread them out over different pairs of months. These items include rotating mattresses, changing filters, doing a conscious purge of donate of all my spaces, purge and replace expired medications from first aid kits or medicine cabinets, moving and cleaning under furniture, that sort of thing. If you stay on top of all these items, then an annual cleaning list should be relatively small, depending on the size of your home and whether you rent or own. For me, it's scheduling to have my carpets cleaned and cleaning behind, under, and around all the big appliances. That's it for the cleaning list, which leads me to today's question. What is your least favorite chore? For me, it's vacuuming. Let me know yours in the comments below. Last up is the master project list. This is the one day I am going to list, because one day you'll be able to schedule these things into your week. But for now, get them out of your head. In my personal life, this list very much circles around home projects. In the last few years, I really began honing my personal decor style, and I finally love my space. Home ownership isn't for me, that's a story for another time, but I prefer renting, and I have been plugging away at rental-friendly projects. While furloughed from my career due to COVID, I embarked on what I call the great redecorating. Largely, no space in my home went untouched, though I do still have some lingering final touches. Next on my list are a laundry closet makeover and a master walk-in closet makeover. But remember, this is just a list, not a project template. That's a different animal with timelines, stages, sometimes graphs or drawings, and more. Another project for me is vacation planning. I don't have the resources to take annual vacations, so they don't fall into my administrative or monthly admin tasks until I'm gearing up for a planned holiday. That's why I treat it like a large ongoing project instead of a single to-do item, and group vacation ideas into low, medium, and high budget categories. For Dots and Beyond, this includes future growth ideas, such as moving to 2 videos per week, creating more written blog content, adding printables and freebies, or updating my website. Speaking of printables and freebies, you can download a free workbook to guide you through the establishing of these 5 master lists for yourself. The link is in the description box below. No newsletters, no subscriptions, just the link to a download. Like all these lists, projects are deeply personal and customizable. Outside of the mundane like washing dishes or doing laundry, none of your lists will look like mine. As Gandalf states in the Fellowship of the Ring, all we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us. These lists can help you manage that time wisely. I encourage you to begin brainstorming, start with some free flow thought on the master list, and then see where it goes. Don't get discouraged or try to do it all at once. Recognize that lists, how you store them, and how you use them are always evolving. If you found this video helpful, or really if you're just a big Lord of the Rings nerd, please give this video a big thumbs up and go ahead and hit that subscribe button while you're here for more bullet journal, mindfulness, and project planning content every Friday. We would love to have you join the Dots and Beyond family. From whenever and wherever you're watching this, remember that you too are fierce. Until next time, thank you for watching. Here are a couple more videos I think you might enjoy.